Oh man, I didn't have any alcohol yesterday. I was so proud of myself. I was. Um, but man, I had a hard night and hard morning, and I can't go cold turkey. I think I'd die or I'd get sick, and I can't get sick because I need to pay my bills. So here I am. I'm gonna drink today, but I'm not gonna drink tomorrow. I'm gonna get healthy. I am. But here I am, and I'm gonna stick my foot in my mouth right now, man. Fuck, I'm gonna say shit that I should not be saying because it goes so much against all of the propaganda of our day. But it's where should I start? I should roll a cigarette. No, I should. I should roll a cigarette before I say shit that I shouldn't be saying. Um, okay, I guess we'll just jump right into it. Let's just jump right into it. The Inquisition. The Inquisition, right? Now, apparently, from what I learned online, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently, and it wasn't a religious group that did this. I'm pretty sure it was a secular research group. It was a secular university, secular research group, and they dove in to the Inquisition. And one of the things that they were diving into was how many people died during the Inquisition. Right. Now, of course, they expected to find many, many people who died during the Inquisition. But from all of their research, they found out that not a whole lot of people died during the Inquisition. Like, this whole anti-Inquisition stuff started from Protestant propaganda against Catholics. Right? But according to the facts, and correct me if I'm wrong, according to this study that happened, right? According to this study that happened, um, there was not a whole lot of people who died during the Inquisition, and yet at the same time that the Inquisition's going on, it's like you have all these Protestant countries who, as far as I know, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because this itself could be propaganda, and it might not be true. But from what I've heard, is that thousands of women died in Protestant countries, and I think I could be lowballing it because I've heard the number tens of thousands were dying in Protestant countries because these Protestants were declaring them to be witches, and I know that happened here in America. Um, where innocent people were being killed, and they had been declared to be witches. You know, it's just like there's all this shit going on in our day. There's all this nasty fucking shit going on in our day, and so it's like, why would we trust the history that's presented to us? Like, no, don't trust the history that's presented to you. Like, think for your fucking self. And I'm not trying to propagate anything out there. Like, the facts should win out. The facts should win out. Um, but that's really where modern propaganda began, just like modern schooling began in Prussia, the modern Prussian education system that we live in, which is the education of slaves, right? Because Prussian education system was that the elites, they'd have a liberal arts education where they were taught to think for themselves, where the slaves were given a modern education where they were taught to obey, and and others would think for them. and they just had to execute and work. But that's exactly where modern propaganda started. It was just like, and I'm not defending the Catholics on here. I've totally like talked shit about the Catholics as they deserve. The world's. I mean that's what propaganda is. It's good versus evil. Good versus evil. And here in the United States, it's like the good voices. The good voices were for like due process, and they were secular voices too. But they were secular, and they were like, hey, we need fucking due process. We need innocent until proven guilty. We can't do this mob justice. We need some principles by which we carry out justice. And eventually these voices of reason won out over this Salem insanity that was happening. But it's like you got to get rid of labels. You got to get rid of labels because the Inquisition has turned into a label. It's turned into a label. And if you're for the Inquisition, then you're evil. You're evil. But that's bullshit. That's total fucking bullshit. And I can prove it to you right now. I can prove it to you because there's a lot of voices in our country right now. There's tons and tons of voices in our country right now that's saying, hey, we need to investigate the shit out of all this Epstein stuff. Right? And what is that other than an inquisition? A rose, by any other name, is still a goddamn fucking rose. And if you're fooled by the emotion of the label, if you're fooled by the emotion of the label, then you're going to be a good man who's on the devil's side. And you're going to be against God. Like, God's like, oh, you can't outrighteous me. There's all these holy people out there who hate. There's all these holy people out there who hate anybody who does not speak their language and does not worship their God. Whether or not these people are loving or not, it doesn't matter. Whether or not they're brave or not, whether or not they're virtuous or not. Because I think that's where the voice of reason should come in. It shouldn't be about your religion or your this or that. It should be about fucking goddamn virtue and reason. And no, that doesn't matter. Like you're not of my tribe, therefore I hate you, therefore I'm going to murder you. I'm going to rush off. And all the children are going to rush off to murder because this guy's of another tribe. He's the enemy tribe. And they're going to rush off to murder, and they're going to hate, and they're going to openly hate too. That's what's weird. That's a false face. False face of righteousness, false face of justice. I mean, there's just so much fucking goddamn bullshit. Like I was watching this one video one time on the Byzantines, and I just thought I'd get in there, and I commented, and I'm like, fuck these Greeks, because they're Greek. They're fucking Greek, these Byzantines. They're Greek, these Byzantines. And I'm like, fuck these, why are they calling themselves the Romans? When the Romans are Latin speakers. Like, the Greeks are almost no more as a people. They're a fraction of they're a slight breath away from being eradicated from this planet. I hate to say it, but that's the world we live in, a world where genocide is just occurring on a daily basis. And we're all being genocided. Shit. Well, the Latin speakers, like the Spanish alone, are 500 fucking million people. So the Latins, you know, I mean, they may have poor countries and stuff, but, you know, I mean, they're prospering way more than the fucking Greeks are. And they call themselves Roman? Why would they fucking call themselves, like, that's pride. That's the pride of the Greeks. Oh, we're Roman. Like, no, like, get your own identity, you dumb bitches. Like you're not Roman, you're Greek. Be proud of being Greek. You're not fucking Roman. But they don't have any history to be proud of. They really don't, other than pre-written times. And in post-written times, the only Greeks that Greeks should be proud of are the villains. Like that Sicilian dude who saved the Greeks from being destroyed by the Phoenicians, because the Phoenicians were pretending to support democracy, and all these Greeks got like all fired up about democracy. But like if you know any history of democracy, like that's another thing that pisses me off. Like there's all this propaganda against dictators. And I'm not a big fan of dictators, like modern dictators or ancient dictators, and especially hereditary dictators. Damn, I'm a big enemy of hereditary dictators. But the Roman Republic, it had an office of dictatorship, where during times of crisis, they would give all their powers to one man that they trusted. They'd give all their powers to one man that they trusted, and they'd say, hey, get us through this crisis, and then give us back our liberties. And that's exactly what happened. And so the first, like that's where the word comes from, as far as I'm, dictator, like the Roman dictator. And the Roman dictator saved the Roman people so many fucking different times. And then after the crisis was over, he'd give up his powers and go on to farming, his own farmland, and just being a normal fucking person. So it was an office that was historically successful. In the Republican times, in the old Republic, in the early Republic, before the Republic became corrupted. And you see, that's why you gotta that's why you gotta fucking get rid of labels in your mind. And it's like philosophers will say, hey, define everything, because most disagreements are between people who are using words in different ways. So define everything. And stop with all this label shit. No, define it. Like, break through that label, and because the label's nothing but an emotion that's trying to own your will and put you onto either a good path or a bad path, depending on who's using that label. Now, there's just so much fucking propaganda in history nowadays. There's just so much goddamn fucking propaganda in history nowadays. It's like they say, whoever controls the world controls history. Well, guess what? Like, we don't like the people who are controlling the world. Therefore, why would we like one of the worst people in German history was Frederick the Great. Frederick the Great. One of the worst people in Germany. He destroyed the German people. He fucking destroyed the German people. But he won battles. He he was martial and he won battles. Like that moniker came from the English, a Protestant nation who was using the Prussians, who were another Protestant nation, who were using them to their own destruction for the benefit of the English. Because the English don't have principles. They pretend to, but they don't. And any principles they do have are have some clauses. They have some clauses that are buried deep within that principle. You know what I'm saying? And they have some clauses that are buried very, very deep, but those clauses are going to be followed. And it's just all like, 'cause that's what toxic people do. That's what toxic people do. It's like if we look into all the stories nowadays, then a bad man has a bad evil face. Ugh. And he says bad evil words. But the person that hurts you, is gonna say, I love you. And they're gonna use you. And they're gonna abuse you. The person who hurts you is going to say, I love you. And they're like, damn. And that's like in the Torah, in the Jewish scriptures, it says it's better to have a good small family than a large, evil, obnoxious family. And as goes families, so goes tribes. As goes families, so goes tribes. So it is better to have a small, good tribe than a large, evil, obnoxious tribe. And it's all those like all these people who are guilty of raping little children. They have the sweetest faces and they have the sweetest voices, and they tell us that they love us. They tell us that they love us, and all of the all of the tyrant cops out there, and there's a lot of good cops, but all the tyrant cops out there, they're all fighting for justice. They're all fighting for justice, whether they are or not. But the toxic person, they have a false fucking face. And it's up to the rational person. It's up to the rational person to look at history and look at the reality beyond the fucking goddamn face, beyond the label. It is up to the historian to be a searcher of hearts.